the presentation that I've made, which I will just pull out on my iPad here. And there's also a copy of my book. I've written a book, or I'm writing a book. I'm close to finishing the book. I think I finished the book. And it's also on my website. And the book tells the story of, the name of my book is Banana in Russia. Banana in Russia. Why is my book named Banana in Russia? Because it's the story of my 18 years of travel in Russia. 18 years. And 18 years ago, bananas were exotic items in Russia. Very exotic items. People would buy bananas in ones and twos. You probably remember the first bananas that you received. Many Russians have memories of their first bananas. Am I right? Okay. Today, if I wanted to get a banana here in Tomsk, I would have no problem going to a store and getting a banana. But the challenge today for Russia is, does Russia remain a banana republic? A banana republic. Russia's bananas are not in the tree. Russia's bananas are in the ground. Oil and gas are Russia's bananas. And the definition of a banana republic is a country that gets its wealth from either bananas dropping from the sky or bananas coming up from the ground, oil and gas and minerals. And the governments of banana republics have one goal: control of the bananas. Because if you make your money from bananas, and the bananas are growing on your land, it's very simple how you keep making money. The people who make money are the people who control the bananas. So today, Russia, I would describe the Russian economy as a modern banana republic. But the Soviet Union put a lot of effort in advanced science and research, especially in places like Tomsk and Akademgorodok. So in my opinion, Russia has much greater potential. Russia should stop being a banana republic and should become a normal country. And what do I mean by a normal country? A normal country is a country in which its cleverest people, the cleverest people in the country, make a contribution to the society, and they become rich because the society recognizes their contributions. And the rarest thing of all, the most valuable thing of all, are absolutely new ideas, are new ideas. Whether those ideas are in medicine, whether they're in physics, whatever, the world is always looking for new ideas. The whole world. And getting new ideas out of Russia into the rest of the world is my challenge, is helping people who have what I call transformational technologies in Russia. How do they take steps, first to protect their ideas, If you publish an article in an academic journal, you're basically giving the ideas away to the rest of the world. So the world of academics is one world, and people don't get rich in academics. People get rich in business. And the way you get rich in business is you have to protect your idea. You have to protect your idea through patents. And what is a patent? A patent is a mechanism which gives you ownership, temporary exclusive ownership of an idea, And if you have ownership of an idea, it means you can charge somebody for using your idea. It's called licensing. It's called licensing. So my business model for the commercialization of transformational technologies from Russia involves concrete steps. The first step is you have to protect your idea with a patent, not in Russia, but outside of Russia. If you have only a patent inside of Russia, you're basically giving the technology away to the rest of the world, because anybody can read a Russian patent, and they can get somebody to translate. If the Russian patent is written in Russian, they can have somebody translate the Russian patent into English, or German, or Japanese, or Chinese, and then they can read the idea, and they can steal the idea, and no problem. And your idea gets implemented somewhere, and you don't get paid for it. Russia did not have private ownership of land 20 years ago. The idea of private ownership of land was a new idea for Russians. The idea that ideas can be owned, is a new idea for Russians. But this is the foundation of wealth creation in the West. There's an entire system that has been built in the West based on the private ownership of ideas. So the first thing you have to do is you have to protect your ideas with international patents. You then have to create a company outside of Russia, and assign those patents to a company outside of Russia. I have a company in Finland, I have a company in Singapore, and I have a company in the United States. And all of these companies are based on technologies from Russia. And once the idea is protected and it's assigned to a business entity outside of Russia in a transparent business climate, then you have to demonstrate the value of the technology. You have to show why the technology is superior to what exists in the rest of the world. And if you can show that it's superior, and if it's valuable, then big companies will want to use it. They will first want to steal it, because if you don't have to pay for something, they prefer not to pay for it. But if you know how to play the game, then you can get value. You need to be paid for this. And by the way, in order to do this successfully, you need a business partner. You need a business partner. If you're a clever scientist, the worst thing you can do is think that because you're a clever scientist, you can be a clever business person. That's like jumping into a tank full of sharks and thinking that you can swim from one side of the pool to the other without any problem. It's not going to happen. So let me give you some examples. I formed a company 3 years ago for an inventor in Moscow by the name of Igor Pomitkin. Igor Pomitkin is a genius who is the first person in the world to understand the root cause of Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's. Do you know what Alzheimer's is? It's when people get old, it's not a big problem in Russia because unfortunately Russians are dying too early. A Russian man, the average age of a Russian man is 58 years old. I am older than 58. So if I were a Russian, I would be dead. I'm not planning to die anytime soon. And I have 2 new hips. Both my hips have been replaced. And I ski with my new hips. And I have a pacemaker on my heart. And this pacemaker watches my heart. So I'm planning to live to be 90 years old or 95 years old. So medical science is today making it possible to replace every element of the human body except one, the mind. The mind. And what's been happening as people get older, their biggest problem is their minds disappear. It's what happened to Ronald Reagan. You can stay alive, but you no longer recognize who your children are or your family. And you become a great expense, not only to your family, but to the state. So it is the #1 unsolved medical problem in the Western world that is threatening to bankrupt the social systems of the Western world. My business partner has a solution, is the first person in the world to have a solution. And we're giving the medicine today in Kazakhstan. So I formed a company in Finland 3 years ago, and we're now giving the medicine to people in Kazakhstan. The name of our company is Buddha Biopharma. You can Google Buddha Biopharma and you'll find this, this company. My second company, I'm forming a company in Singapore for an inventor in Vladivostok. What is his invention? Viktor Alexenko has an invention that supports fuzzy logic. What do I mean by fuzzy logic? Today, the digital world has 2 conditions: yes, no, on, off. 2 conditions. He has a computer chip that has 5 conditions. Yes, maybe yes, don't know, maybe no, no. 5 conditions. We have just received a US patent and a European patent on this chip design. And I was in Singapore on the way here, and I'm going to be in Singapore on the way back to California, and I'm forming a company in Singapore based on this technology. So those are 2 examples of what I call transformational technologies that I have found in Russia